going on, guys? This is a 1956 Bantam Tractor that I just got done restoring. Do a walk around. It has a Briggs & Stratton 14 FB motor in it. I had to replace the carburetor with an aftermarket one because the original one was too far gone to rebuild. The back tires on it are replaced. Actually, the whole wheel is replaced. The old ones were completely rotted out, and these are actually off of a Husqvarna snowblower, the rims at least, and I made them look like the original Bantam wheels by drilling the 3 holes in them, and then put these tires and tubes on it. Front wheels are original, but the tire and tubes have been replaced. What else here? It has a weird bell system in there. I don't know if you can see it all that well. It's a almost like a centrifugal clutch, but it uses, you have a lever on the other side, which I'll show you, and then it uses this belt. And the exhaust runs, kind of hard to see with the cover on it, but the exhaust runs down underneath the frame and comes out the bottom. I believe it uses a 5/8 by, if I remember correctly, I think it's a 10 or 15 inch belt. Not 100% sure on that. When I got this tractor, it was completely rusted out. I'll have to put some pictures of it either at the end of the video, or if I can figure out how to put up pictures while the video is going, I'll insert them here. And when I got it, it was missing the steering wheel. I had a guy out in Lancaster that knows a lot about these tractors. He was able to cast me a new one out of aluminum. So if you have one of these tractors, look up Lime Valley Engine Works on Facebook. He's a really handy with these things, and he knows a lot about them. I also picked up the gas tank from him as well, because it was rusted out, so that's new. It was missing the throttle cable and throttle mechanism. This is just an aftermarket one that looks very similar to the original that I stuck on there. The seat was repainted, the fenders, everything else on this tractor is pretty much original. As far as the engine work goes, I took the valves out, cleaned the valves, and relapped them in. I put a new head gasket in it, actually 3 times. This has a rare option on it with the retractable recoil on it. The original, more common styles of these tractors had just a wrap around, you just wrap a rope around it and pull start it that way, but this one had a recoil on it when I got it, so apparently that's a pretty rare option. This little black bracket, that is for a mower deck that would mount on the front side of this tractor. It used a 90-degree gearbox. It would run off the back, that pulley in the front of the belt there. It would come out to a 90-degree gearbox and run down to a mower deck. Now these had a bunch of attachments. It had a front mounted mower deck. It could have an underbelly mower deck. It came with a roller. You could put one real mower on the back, up to 5 of them in a gang for gang mowers. Came with those. It came with a snowplow, which I have, and apparently that is one of the rarest options that rarest implements that these came with, and I managed to find one. Actually, it came with the tractor. This has a really weird, see if I can get under here to show you guys. It's got a really low geared differential. It's actually, this rear end is super tough. I've seen people use these for pulling tractors and they compete up with the big garden tractors. And but it uses it's a 3-speed, 2 forward, 1 reverse. It's a belt driven down to a shaft, then a shaft drive back to the transmission with the universal joints. The only issue that I've found with this tractor, which is it's not very easy to work on, the hood, as you can see, is held on with all these bolts that go the whole way around it. And in order to access anything or get to the head or a spark plug, you have to take all these bolts out. The steering wheel has to come off. The gas tank has to come out of it. So it can be a pain to work on. So, and it scratches very easily. What else do I have to do? Oh, these rear wheels, because the original ones were rusted out, and they were actually stuck on the rear end, I had to cut them off. I don't know if you can see real well, but the axle on the rear end is actually smaller than what these wheels would accept. So they actually have a crankshaft adapter in there that makes it fit tighter. And then I just have set screws on the back holding the wheel on it. It seems to work okay. It drives like it's supposed to and stuff, but yeah, they came with, there's a couple other options. I'm trying to remember here what they came with. They came with a spike aerator, I believe, that could be hooked on the back. There's a little tow hitch. 2 styles of mower decks, a roller, the 5-gang reel mowers. A couple of other options it came with. I'll have to post a picture. There's a couple of pictures I found of the original implements. But I'll turn the gas on here and I'll fire it up for you. So I'll go ahead and fire it up. It should fire up pretty easily. As you can see, it's a little finicky here and there, but that is not the original carburetor, so I can't expect it to run perfectly on it, being the Chinese aftermarket, but it runs pretty good. One other thing is, a lot of people might think this is similar, or this was manufactured by the Bantam company that manufactured the Jeeps. It is actually a completely different company. It was based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. So there's the model and serial number tag. This is your shifter. Pull it back to go, push it forward to stop. When I got it, there was actually a brake you would press on here, and it would just press up on this pulley to stop it from moving. That was completely worn out, and I haven't had a chance to put it back on there after I fixed it yet, so it actually doesn't even really roll when you take it out of gear. It just sits there, so I haven't really had a need to put it back on yet. But the only other thing I can really think of is before Bantam, there was another company called Standard Manufacturing, and they made basically the exact same tractor, but they just had it was, instead of saying Bantam, it said Standard, but it was identical tractor. And then Bantam, the name was some reason changed to Bantam. I haven't really figured out why yet, but these actually came in 3 different models. This is the 5000. There was a smaller version which was a 3000, and there was a bigger version which was an 8000. Basically the only difference between the 3 models was the size. The fenders were slightly different, and then the engines. This has a 5 horsepower engine. The 3000 would have had a 3, and the 8 would have had 8 horsepower. The 8 horsepower one's the rarest out of all 3. I think the 3000 is the most common. This is the next rarest. So yeah, you wouldn't think that this tractor would be able to even cut grass, but it actually has a lot of power behind it. The rear end in this thing is geared really low, and so it has a lot of low end torque. And the I don't know if you can see it, but the difference between my John Deere 318 and this thing is really small. It's like a reminds me of like a clown car or something that you would sit on, but honestly, if I sit on it, it's not that uncomfortable really. It's actually not too bad to drive, but it looks like it'd be perfect for a kid. But I was lucky enough to come across it, and I got back of a guy's barn, and he sold it to me for a really good price for what these are, because he didn't know what it was, but we won't tell him what it was. I think that's about it. Just figured I'd give you guys this little video or intro to this thing. I know some of you as urban viewers might have seen this in the background of my Portersville videos, or some of my buddies' Portersville videos from the steam show this past summer. So I figured I'd make a quick video on it before I put it in the storage for the winter time. But one other quick fact that I just thought of is the paint is actually Alice Chalmers orange. That's what they used from the factory on these. Was I think it's Persian orange number 2 is what this paint is, if I remember correctly. I used a paint sprayer for like a air compressor. That's how I painted it. These 3 holes in the front here were for a bracket that the snowplow arm comes up and hooks onto. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. Other than that, guys, that's about it. I appreciate everybody watching and keeping up with the channel. I'm gonna try and pump out some more videos so I have some content to keep everybody occupied through the winter time. But there'll be some more videos of some other stuff that I got coming out beforehand, so I'm gonna see if I can try and put a video out at least once a month. But with my schedule and work and all that other stuff, you know, don't hold it to me if I can't get to it. But other than that, that's about it. Just want to thank everybody for watching, and comment, rate, subscribe, and thank you.